You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day. Or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help.
The FHN network is sponsored in part by Hoddle Services. If you're looking for a disc jockey, karaoke host, video jockey to videographer, our company can help. With over 20 years of experience, we would be happy to help with your special event within Ontario, Canada. You can contact us at 226-988-2895 or visit us at our website at hoddleservices.vpweb.ca. That's HODDLE Services. We look forward to hearing from you and helping with your special event.
We're back. Season 3, episode 2. What's up, OTP fans? And thanks for tuning into our live recording of Off the Puck Hockey on the FHN network. I'm your host, Tyler Fies. You can catch Off the Puck on Rogers TV, Channel 20, every Saturday night, 9 p.m., new episodes. You can also view live recordings on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Just follow at Off the Puck Hockey for dates, times. Make sure that you're checking us out. It's we're growing like crazy right now. Still a proud partner of our West Coast ASTV as we join the fastest growing network in North America. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Durham Artificial Grass, Kitchener-Waterloo branch, and Durham Artificial Grass is family owned and operated since 2018, providing outstanding customer service and products, whether it's for golf simulator, sports flooring, your own lawn. Check out Durham Artificial Grass. Absolutely. And you got to see the Instagram pictures. I was just looking at one. It's a putting green. Absolutely fantastic. If you're a golf fan, you want to check that out. Still pretty quiet in the NHL right now. Camps are coming to an end. Preseason games finally taking off on Saturday. And the rookie tournament was in full action this weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about what was going on, a few of the highlights. But again, we got hockey, folks, and it's coming quick around the corner. Tonight, the crew from OTP welcomes retired NHL player, played 223 NHL games, accumulating 140 points. Oh, he's pretty good. Stanley Cup winner, no problem. Montreal Canadiens in 92-93 had 12 points during that run, played over 700 professional hockey games, now runs a successful local business. Please welcome Gibert Dionne. Thank you very much for stopping by tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tyler. And it was nice to for you to introduce yourself at the St. Mary's Golf and Country Club. I believe we met to our tournament, didn't we? Or something like that, didn't we?
Yeah. At the MVP Brewing Golfing Tournament. Had an absolute blast. And I think you guys, I'm not sure, did you guys end up winning it?
I don't remember. I didn't second or I don't know.
You didn't seem like you had that many MVPs, Gilbert. You should be able to know what's going on.
I didn't get no gifts anyway. I hand them out to everybody else, I guess. They say Gilbert doesn't need stuff like that, so they keep it for themselves.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. So what's been keeping you busy during this pandemic?
It's been very busy as, starting this business again. I was in the grain business for 20 years for Parrish and Handbacker. I had a great time there, good family-owned business. Decided just needed a change in my life, this opportunity came to go in sales with Durham Artificial Grass and studied it and figured out there's a niche market and should start targeting this to the West. And it seems like the Toronto corridor was felt, or maybe people were starting to think it's for rich people, but we can accommodate any types of design or family, housing, backyards, front lawn, whatever it is, we are there to make it happen for the clients and potential customers out there. And it's been booming very well.
Yeah, like I said, you quickly asked me to join your Instagram and take a look at one of the projects you did, and let me tell you something, that is pristine as pristine can get. Just absolutely incredible stuff, and I'm hoping anybody that's watching that's looking for, it doesn't matter what it is, even just having some artificial turf around your house, or again, you want the putting green or golf simulator, which seems to be huge, especially during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
You got to check it out. It's absolutely incredible. So, how long have you been in the business now? Apparently, a short time, or
almost like a full year. Yeah, it's just a
that's
full year.
it. Oh, wow.
So just for kitchenware lube, we're fairly slowing down right now because it's seasonal. We can only do install turf through end of October, but Durham itself got over 3,000 hours to go, and we're selling for next season already. It's
wow.
It's booming. The market is fantastic, and let's not forget I put my name on to this job also, right? I take pride. Everyone knows that my word is my word, and I have a good friend of mine, Dave Bailey, works with me as a project manager, and we're not going anywhere, right? We're local. We know everyone around here, and we're so proud to do the job for everyone. And happy or not happy, we're there to answer the calls and make sure the customer and the client is always happy at the end of the day that we like to look after. So.
Well, I wish you all the best in your business, but Gibert, we got to talk hockey. I mean, that's why we brought you on. I mean, if we want to talk golf, I'm all about that, but that's more of a spit and chicklets type thing. They've only got a few million followers. This is going out to a couple thousand probably, but it doesn't matter. We still want to talk hockey. So just talk a little bit about, growing up and how you fell in love with the game.
And don't forget, the Blue Jays are on fire right now. I don't understand why you want to jump into hockey right away.
Oh, I know. Blue Jays are incredible. We're going to touch on them halfway through because I know Giles, who's hopefully probably listening. I mean, they're huge, diehard Blue Jays fans. And if you're getting on the bandwagon, now's the time because they're looking good.
Yeah, they sure are. But, my career started as a young age, which is still it's still happening out there. I kind of lose track, but following even just right now of a local good friend of mine, Tyler Erdl, in town in Kitchener, that his son got drafted by Dallas. It still shows. It still shows the sacrifice these kids have to do. Like I did myself at a young age, at 15 years old, I decided to leave Quebec to come and pursue hockey in Ontario. And being fortunate enough that having my brother Marcel Dionne, a hockey Hall of Fame, and played 18 years in the NHL himself, not so much following his footsteps, but believed that he guided me to maybe follow his steps a little bit that he did, years back. So I came to Niagara Falls. I want to make sure my education was going to be there. There was a nice school in Welland called Confederation. So at least I was getting some education in French language and go to the hockey rink. Obviously trying to learn to speak English in the dressing room was absolute nightmare. But till this day, I think all the boys, you're 16 years old, play with 20-year-olds in junior B, was a huge gap. Very nerve-wracking at time, especially as a young boy, you're just trying to figure yourself out. First of all, where you're heading in life, and in that position got scary, but I was well taken care of, stayed at a billet in Niagara Falls to the Boone family, the late AJ Boone and Donna, looked after me for a couple of years. It was fantastic. They knew I was there to play some hockey, learn English, and they looked after me. Well done. And after that, I got drafted by Kitchener. It was amazing. My first year in junior B, I had probably 11 goals or something like that, struggling. I'm young, right? Not much ice time. Then the following year, I think I tucked in 40 goals or 48 goals. I don't know how many I did, but that's when Kitchener decided to give me an opportunity to get drafted by them. And for those who forget, sometimes you think you can go first overall and second overall. Yes, you get a bit of perk. You're the better player in the league, but I was drafted 19th round. That's 268th player in the OHL. And look where I am today. End up going to Montreal and fourth round pick for Montreal, and end up winning the cup. But you want to talk about hockey, where things, I'm not the only one. There's so many stories out there, but I've been fortunate. I know there's players out there struggling. I don't know, there's help out there. I really enjoy your commercial with the Crisis Service Canada, There's stuff like that also with the National Hockey League Players Association and the National Hockey League alumni, that we're trying to help these players, right? I've been fortunate that my career was there. I'm surrounded by good people, a good family, and I love it, right? I don't regret one single thing I've done in the past with my sports. Wish, I could have played probably 1,000 games in the NHL, but it just didn't happen, right? I mean, I won the cup and they said, okay, that's enough. Let's go do something else.
Yeah, absolutely. And I probably would have called it after that, to be honest with you. I'm like, you know what? I got to get into the turf business. That's what I'm going to do. I think he's going to do that right away. Just win the cup, turf business, done. Moving on from there.
And I know I'm jumping ahead, Tyler, but when I won the cup, I grabbed the cup, I gave it back, and I said, I'm going to win it again. I was 21 years old.
That's right.
At that time, just thinking, I go, I'll win it. I got another 10 years to win this cup. And just realized after that playoff run, I was so exhausted. It was very hard, and still is to this day. You're looking at 31 teams now, I believe, with the Kraken. So this, if everyone wins 1 year, the cup, you got 31 years to wait. So, and those win back-to-back cups, gets to be rare to win the Stanley Cup. So
yeah, well, it's an incredible feat, obviously, and we're going to talk about the Stanley Cup. But you actually said something that I wanted to talk about earlier, and that was, you said you moved away from home at 16, and a lot of parents don't understand, like, sometimes the sacrifices you have to make if you want to make it as a professional athlete, and moving away from home is one of those things that you sometimes have to do. And I just wanted your opinion, especially with all the hockey that's all over the GTHL Alliance, things like that. And there might be some kid from, just above Northern Thunder Bay that's looking for an opportunity. What do you say to those young 14 or 15-year-olds that parents are like, I'm just not sure if I'm ready to send my kid? Is it more just recognizing the talent level or recognizing the maturity?
You have to mature real quick. You have to know what you're looking for and what you want in life. Your parents will support you, your friends, your teachers. I've had all the support to say, if you want to go, you go. It was hard the first few months because not only I didn't speak English, but just it was a big gap, right? You're 15 years old. You're just a teenage boy and trying to figure yourself out in life. But I stuck with it, right? I want to go home by Christmas. And my mom says, stick it out, get to school. What's wrong? Like we're 10 hours away and then come and visit. Anyway, you get homesick a little bit, but I sacrificed that to say, all right, I don't need a girlfriend. I don't need to smoke cigarettes. I just want to play hockey. Where's the rink? Where's the frozen pond so I can go shoot some pucks and so forth. But fortunate enough, like I said, you surround yourself. There is out there lots of people that can help. It's a phone call away. If the kids in Thunder Bay are struggling, don't worry about the money. We can find funds for these kids that are out there that are really talented and need. It's a rich man's sports, but I don't understand. There's some, kids, especially ourselves here. I'm stepping away now, but Baden, New Hamburg, Tavistock, there's some good young hockey players, but just can't seem to get anywhere because they have to go to AAA Waterloo and it costs you 15, 20 grand a season. I don't understand. It's so ridiculous how expensive it is to play hockey.
I know it is really tough. And even, even tonight we were, I was at the local rink watching some hockey, and, you can only have so many imports in a small town and you have to support the local brand. And I understand that completely. But then I look at another kid, like, let's say we have 5 or 6 young men who are looking to play with our hockey club and we can only take 4 of them. So 2 kids go back down 2 levels to a small group and there's nobody else around. I feel bad for a few of these kids and I understand it. And, you mentioned money. I've been trying my damnedest to find a way to help sponsor some of these kids. Try to get some money. I mean, the You Can Play is fantastic. From Canadian Tire's done a great job of setting up that program to help youth try to find their way. But even junior hockey is expensive now. I know that local hockey here, Junior C, because of the pandemic, they have to charge kids. First time ever, they're gonna have to charge kids to play. And some kids are like, oh, it's $1,000. It's really expensive. And I'm like, you go to Toronto, it's 7,000.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Like I'm at a loss now how to even it out to make sure everybody can play.
At the end of the day, Tyler, I feel like, Hockey Canada has some sort of a nice idea. They have ideas. Like we don't know, what I'm saying? You wish that Hockey Canada can do it right for everybody, but it doesn't happen that way. You just wish ourselves, like Tavistock, especially Tavistock Mighty Hockey, works so hard. Like you said, we never leave one kid behind. We tell people, sign your kids up. If it's monetary issue, we can figure something out, get some sponsorship. There's a lot of silent, opportunity that people donate and then make sure those kids get to play, have an opportunity, and it stays, privately, and we don't need to know which parents are not or whatsoever. But like I said, it's that to me, the most dangerous age group is from bantam midgets. That is the one for me that I realize. Everybody in Pee Wee, you can score 500 points. You can go through all kinds. And parents they think at the Pee Wee age, they're going to be an NHL player. That's not true. It's between the bantam and midget year. If your kid's smart, keeps his head on the shoulder, like I said, don't veer off, stay on the track. I've seen so much stuff in my life, man. I could have went in the back of the bus and never came back, right? But I decided to just stay clean and focus on my hockey and my school and made it. So it's one thing I want to tell those 14, 15-year-old out there, that you have the right to speak up. You don't need to be bullied. You can have fun. There's nothing wrong about teasing each other, the players, and have an awesome camaraderie. I love a little bit of hazing for fun in a safe manner. But other than that, it's like you have to focus and make sure you get your ice time and work as hard as you can and believe in yourself.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you about your first year of junior, and you mentioned hazing, and I remember I went through it too in my first year of junior B, and and again, it's a completely different time, and I get it. You look back, and you're right. A lot of the stuff was very offside, right? It's the way it is now, but now there's phones. We understand mental health a little bit better and how it can affect you. Maybe not when you're 16 years old, but 30 years old or 35, and and some of that hazing led, it led to other things that were extremely offside. Right. So
like you said, like you said, I'm telling you, like at that age, like, it always comes in my mind, like sexuality, like, like you all shower together. Some kids could be confused at that age. You don't know. And now it's so open to public. It's okay. Like, it's okay to be yourself and act yourself and come out and your players, your captain leads by your captain. He has to believe in you. He has to, what I'm saying? It goes by your captain, your assistant captain, and every hockey players, it's kind of fun. That's the camaraderie it is. You become friends. Sometimes you don't need to get along with the person to go out all the time. But once you hit the ice, man, he's your friend. He's your partner. And, he's going to help you score goals. You got to help him, perform to his best ability. So that's how I find hockey camaraderie is so much the best sports in the world. That's how I find.
Yeah, some of my best times are on the bus. And I was going to say, do you remember your first trip on the bus, or the first time the boys were getting a little silly on the bus?
Oh yeah, I saw such a long trip, right? The veterans are in the back of the bus playing cards, right? I mean, we're sitting in the front, and we get the last lunch if we're lucky, and we get the drinks if we're lucky, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they all meant well, right? Sometimes if they were pushing the card, then we would pounce back, right? As us rookies, it's just, that's enough. You guys are crossing the line, and they believe that, right? If you go to the coach, go to assistant coach and get some help. But I can see it now. Like you said, there's phones all over the place. But you know what? Kids got to still have some fun a little bit. I just, and respect matter. Like, I mean, I truly believe it's fun. I do it when I'm coaching my young kids. We have fun with the kids and teasing a little bit. Sometimes put a smile on a kid's face and be clowns once in a while to relax. To tell kids that, there's a lot of pressure playing hockey, but sometimes you can be yourself and have some fun too. It's a sports after all.
Yeah, agreed. Is there a particular memory from maybe the juniors before he made the jump in the NHL?
Oh, well,
I know you got 1,000 of them. I'm sure you got thousands of them, but is there something you'd be willing to share?
Well, we did the hot box, so we had to be in the.
Oh, I did that too.
In the bus, so we have to go in the bathroom back there, right? It stinks. It's a long round trip from Sault Ste. Marie to Kitchener, and
that's a long one. Mine wasn't quite that long, Gilbert, but it was definitely long enough for me to remember it.
It was quite a bit, and don't forget we had Mike Tork here in net. So when Mike was at that time was about 225 as a junior, and we're about 180. There's like 5-6 of us in there. It was fairly tight. It was a long half hour. At the end, you know what? That was a little bit of hazing. Like they tied up our gym outfit together, and we had to untie everything and come out with our suit on, right? I mean. And at the end, it was fun. Like it was something kind of like not crossing the line, but we knew it was to expect because from the years past, I said, you're going to get in the sweat box, the hot box. And obviously now it's a no. But I mean, it is what it is. I really enjoyed my career. I enjoyed my junior days. I'll never forget my junior days. Met so many people here in Kitchener. Look, I'm in just outside Kitchener-Waterloo. I could have chose to go back to Montreal, but this is my home. Kitchener-Waterloo has been my home for a long time, and the outskirt, right? I'm in Baden right now in Ontario, and I love it here. It's a small town. I don't mind traveling and really enjoy the small town community. I feel there's always someone there to help you, right? So that's how I like it.
Great. And so now you're playing in the OHL. And like you said, you're drafting the round. I love talking about the process of the draft, because especially in the later rounds, because obviously I'm not 100% sure at how it worked back in the 80s for the first and second rounders. Obviously there's no cell phones. A lot of these interviews are going to be in person, and you got to find a way to get a hold of the guy. What was your process like being drafted that late?
So there was an opportunity, like everyone else, you have an agent or someone can find the funds. But my draft here at that time was in Vancouver, I believe. You're hearing some voices after finished the junior ranks. We lost in double overtime to Eric Lindros and the Oshawa Generals at the Cups Coliseum. Tons of scouts up there. People want to meet you a week after you go get your equipment. They hear it from the Kitchen Rangers. Right? So and so wants to talk to you. So and so. So you have the agents. You have some management in the NHL say we're interested. This and this, and the scouts. Right? It was all from the scouts. So Pierre Mondu was at the Cops Coliseum and so forth. But at that time, I looked at my parents. I go, I ain't going to Vancouver. Like, I don't even know if I'll get drafted. No one told me. Maybe third round, fifth round. What does that mean? And sure enough, I was just at home, watched the draft on TV, and I got the phone call in the landline, right? Phone call.
You got to sit right by it? Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, you had to stay by it. And I saw the sign. It showed the logo, showed the Buffalo Sabres. So I thought it was the Buffalo Sabres that drafted me, but we missed it because it was the Canadiens before that. And then the Canadiens picked me, and then they called me, and Andre Bourdieu said, "Congratulations, kid. You got drafted 4th round. Montreal Canadiens, 81st overall. So we'll see you at camp." Okay, thank you. Bye. So they send me letters and stuff and duffel bags with my jersey and stuff like that. And that was it for me. But like you said, now it's kind of like it's all preset. It's all, I don't think there's any surprises anymore in the draft. Everyone knows what's going on. No offense to TSN, ESPN, everyone that's watching stuff, right? Sportsnet, they already know. They do a great job. The scouting report's already out. It's a no-brainer to me. I mean, to me, scouting is I like to watch it live. I got to go see a player play. If I like it, I'll go see him again and go again, and then you make a decision. But now people look online and stats, and they rely on stats most of the time, and it's I don't know, it's a number thing now and these days, and I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, no, I agree. And I'm big on the eye test as well. And I know there's analytics there, but I love being in the rink and watching players.
Yeah.
And back in 89, 90, when you put up 105 points, were you that type? You never really were that type of player that put up those numbers of points. I mean, it always seems like it's the second year where you finally get, a feel for the league. And then all of a sudden you start dominating 84 in junior B and then 105, talk a little bit about that season and how did you all of a sudden, rise to this level that you maybe never thought you had?
So, remember, it's an adapting process for me. I was late. The first year was, okay, not much ice time, learn to play, it's just learn to respect, follow your captain and so forth. And slowly you get an opportunity. Well, the following year, then I became top line, right? Top 2 lines. If you play with better players, you become a better player and fit in. I played with Jason Firth and Stephen Rice in one line. And Randy Pierce was just down the road too. He was a 19th round also at that time. So, wow. All 4 was no surprises, but you're trying to balance yourself. I think what's so much fun is Kitchener, very attractive for young players. They want to be drafted, want to play for the Kitchener Rangers, London Knights, let's not forget that, and the Spitfire with Windsor, and good teams, good cities. And but all around when I play, I loved it. Loved going to Kingston and Cornwall and Belleville. It was so much fun. Niagara Falls at that time. Fun, awesome little towns, but just they couldn't keep up. Could afford it anymore, and then teams get relocated, right? So
for sure.
But
and then next year you're in Fredericton, right? Because you
get
right. Draft, you're right to Fredericton. What was like living in Fredericton? What were the people like to you? How they
once again, fantastic. The Irving family out there and the organization. We played at the university, UNB University. We shared the rink. We showed them a lot of respect with the students and schools there. We were looked after. I live in the semi. A duplex, and the owners were upstairs with me and said, "Well, look after you, Gilbert." I said, "That's awesome." I felt like home, right? I mean, the whole community would look after us. We didn't know where to go. We had, people to help us. If it was either in the real estate or security or anyway, they just wanted to be around us, players, and they knew, especially every minor hockey teams that hosts or owns the city, they know that they want you to do. They feel they want to be part of you to say, okay, you're going to make it to the NHL. So let's help you how to make it up there, and that's how I felt in Fredericton. So tight, so close, from restaurants, bars, hotels to everyone said, we'll look after you guys. We want you to go up and make the NHL. And that's how I really enjoyed it in Fredericton.
So when you did get up to Montreal, you got to play 2 games that year, right? So
yes.
what was the phone call? Everyone likes to know, where were you when you got the phone call? That's one of my favorite questions to ask somebody.
So it was Christmas Eve, and my coach, Paulin Bordelot from Fredericton, says, kid, I come to my office. So when you go to coach office, it's not good. But I was assistant captain, right?
At least it wasn't Michel Therrien, right?
No, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, it's not good. Like, why? why does he want me? Or, he said, you got called up. I said, where? I said, to Montreal. I go, what? They're playing Quebec Boxing Day. You willing to fly Christmas Day? I said, and I just had a newborn. I said, yeah, I'm in. Just way before asking my wife and my young son, Blake, I said, I got to go. I'm doing it. So it was enough. You see, once again, things that people don't understand. When, step aside from the newborn, and my wife said, this is an opportunity. I can't miss this. I got called up. I'm leaving. And she says, go for it. We'll see you there. We're trying to find ways, and like I said, support during sports is huge. My in-laws came from Ontario, drove all the way to Fredericton to come and look after Heather and my son so I can fly to Quebec and not worry about these things, right? You just want to go play hockey and focus. And, be honestly, the first game there, I was so nervous. The late Pat Burns was my coach. And
oh, wow.
I felt like it was a total flop. I just felt like I didn't feel right. I just thought, like, what is this? Like, why am I here? But then I was so impressed of how, you do the bus stuff and you eating, takeouts to all of a sudden you get like meals looked after you, like steaks and chicken and pasta, and make sure you're well fed. It's professional. It's professionally done. And the staff, the training staff looking after you, it was amazing. Amazing.
You and Burnsy ever get into it during your tenure?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, we got to hear at least one or two stories, maybe one you haven't told before. No, now how does it start in the NHL? Like when you get that phone call, he says, "Okay, come on in, Gilbert. We're gonna have a little chat." Obviously, like you said, you're in trouble. Do you remember one where you absolutely knew I am in for it? I did something, whether it was off the ice or on the ice, and I'm gonna hear about it.
Well, I was on fire. I scored 21 goals in 34 games. So Christmas come, boom, I'm playing with Shane Corson, Mike Keane. I'm playing with Denny Savard. Things are just lining up. I'm just like touching
favorite players. I love Denny Savard.
I'm like, what's going on here? And my personality some way kind of bothered Pat Burns. Like, Pat was a very hard, hardcore coach and stuff, and want to make sure that rookies were, not stepping out of line. And I'm like, I couldn't figure it out. I'm going like, why can't he trying to change me for it? Like, I'm scoring goals and stuff. So we're practicing on the ice, and Mike King's on the ice, of course, and we're just having fun. Lilo DeLine, and all of a sudden Burnsy comes on the ice. He goes, "Come here." So he come across the ice. He goes, "Do you know how you got here from Fredericton?" I said, "Yeah, I took the plane here. Why? What's up?" He goes, "I can't send you down as fast as you got here. You better get rid of your smile." I'm like, "What?" Okay.
Oh,
so
wow.
He was so mad. He didn't want me to have fun then. So I'd never smile ever again on the ice every time Burnsy was there. And every practice, every time. And then the person, leave him. Like, it's his fourth year. He's going to get fired anyway. I said, no, I just don't understand. Like, I'm on fire. But I think the relationship I had with Pat and I, if Pat needed a goal, he'd throw me on the ice and I want to go score for him. Right. So we had that love-hate relationship as a player coach. But I knew he meant well. I knew he kept me on my toes, and I knew what he meant to say, hey, once you establish yourself, you'll be fine. But right now you could flip, switch the light, and just all of a sudden you won't score goals anymore. You won't do anything, right? So kept me on my toes. Me and Brisebois and Paul Petro, Ed Roden, all the few rookies that we went through it the same. That they all, Pat did the same thing to these players, and that's how I always remember from Pat. And then at the end, I got traded to Philadelphia. He went to Toronto, and I said, "Why don't you come and get me?" He goes, "I needed a centerman." So I got Paul DiPietro. I go, "I tried to get you." I go, "Really?" He goes, "Yes, I tried a 2-for-1 deal."
Look at the respect you got from him.
Exactly. See,
he just needed to stop smiling, stop having fun. Don't enjoy this. Don't enjoy
exactly.
This. Just get paid, go home.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like you said, I went through a lot of coaches, and each and coaches have totally their own style of coaching, right? I mean, now like you said, you're finding really rare now that Pat Burns and then Mike Keenan and like you said, we went through it a little bit with Babcock, right? A little bit of tough coaches. Now you have to pat these kids in the back all the time and tell them it's not their fault and give them a hug. And I don't know how it's going on out there, but I mean, you got to take these players. I don't care how much money you make. You got to take some criticism, man. You can't start pouting all the time. You need sometime a kick in the ass to these players. I've been watching the playoffs, and some of them needs a huge wake-up call. And if the coach can't do it, who can? What are you waiting for? Who's going to do it? The agent? What's happening here? Something's not right.
Was there a coach that's come across your path that you absolutely look up to and say, like, this is the guy? Like, if anyone needed to learn hockey, this was the guy.
I have to agree. Also, though, let's not forget like Jacques Demers that didn't speak, didn't write, couldn't read or write and stuff like that. He got away with quite a bit. He was very good, a very motivational coach.
Like in general, sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah,
you just kind of blew my mind. Like in general, or like just in English?
in general, he couldn't read or write.
Really? I didn't know
No,
that. Is
he
that
got.
is that common knowledge?
He just came out not long ago that he got away all his life. I think his sister was the only one who knew that he could not read or write. Then we couldn't figure it out. But back in the old days was X's and O's on the boards anyway. How hard to make an X or a no. But he would always send our assistant coach Jacques Laperriere to do the play-by-play on the boards, and he got away with it. That's fantastic.
Wow! So that's how he hit, and no one knew. He didn't tell you guys. He just all of a sudden.
No, it came out slowly after a while that we waited for him. He came up with his book, but we kind of knew something was not right. But we respected it. We didn't want to offend him or in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, this guy got us the Stanley Cup. I mean, he told us that we were going to shock the world at the beginning of the year. I'm like, are you crazy? Shock the world? What are you talking about? Pittsburgh just won back-to-back Stanley Cup with Lemieux, and then you got Gretzky out there. Like, what are you talking about? And he made us believe, man, and it worked. It worked out. He got
that team for sure. I mean, that it's just wild how everything kind of came together in that season. And I think we'd be doing people wrong if we just did not talk about that 92-93 season, how important it was. Guys like Dan Foose, Muller.
Yeah.
Brian Bellows put up 88 points that year.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like Dennis Savard, still one of my favorite players. I can watch that guy, all the old highlights of him, the spin, the turn, like just a guy was a crazy good. Love him. Jean Leclerc. What a team.
Fantastic. And don't forget the core on defense. It's always started with Patrick Waugh, right? Our best goalie in the world at that time.
Well, I was going to get to him. Don't worry. Because
Right?
if I didn't get to my co-host, if he was here, that's all we talk about, Gilbert. Like, we wouldn't even talk about you.
But there was a gap that we knew that the defense and the goalie are together and the forwards are together. So we knew that, Patrick was looked after by Desjardins, Daniel, Leclerc, Brisebois, Kevin Haller. He had a good front line, and Rob Ramage was there at that time. You know what I'm saying? And Donnell Dufresne. So they were surrounded, and Matthew Schneider and Lilo DeLine. Don't forget these guys. So, I mean, we had a good group of core on defense that would really look after the defense. And we had a system we had to follow. And I'm watching some highlights. I'm telling you, Tyler, I'm going like, how the heck was Jacques was throwing me back out? I made it such a stupid defensive mistake. I would never play in the NHL right now if I did this, 30 years. I'm telling my young kids, Pee-wee kids, don't do that. And I was doing it. But he believed in me, right? He said, we need a goal. Let's get these kids out there. Get DiPietro out there. Somebody's going to get a goal. Boom. We get out there, get a goal, and get off the ice, right? It was well done. I think they still do it this way somehow. But, I mean, for the 8-7 veterans at that time, went to the dressing room with Jacques Demers, and Jacques said, hey, boys, I need about 50 to a minute of your ice time down so we can play the kids. And we're like, I didn't know that. Till Jacques said, they went down Foos to Carbonell. Yeah, we're good, coach. Take whatever you said. I need to play these kids.
Wow. I wonder, what I've always wondered that too about, who's got it, again, ice time. And nowadays, they're calculating 17, 18 minutes instead of just saying like, this guy's going. I want to see some of these young kids. Maybe we're up 3-1. And, you can feel a game when you're going to win a game. It's kind of, it's weird, right?
I remember, I don't know if it was Gomez or Camilleri says, well, how can I score goals if I only get 14 minutes a game of ice time? You only need one shift to get a goal. You don't need 100 shifts. Your odds are better when you play. Obviously, you play 30 minutes a game compared to 15. But, if you get a little bit of power play opportunity, a 30-second power play hitter, that's how I get all my points. Boom. I was dying to get out there and go and produce for my team.
Yeah, be a specialist at something. Be a specialist.
Yeah, be a specialist. Understand your role. And yes, if an injury happened, you get to the top line, you go do it and enjoy it and see it. But God, like everybody wants to see these top players perform, and they might as well have two lines out there, and that's it. I shouldn't even have a line in the NHL. Should get rid of it. If they really want to see your top players perform all the time at this much amount of money, well, just play them then, right? So,
what made that team click off the ice? And the reason I ask that is because nowadays, obviously, with video games, like I said, phones. But it's not the same like it was. You don't have that camaraderie. You can't, you're 25, you're not going out to a bar every night or, having drinks, the night before, all 25 of you. Typically it's a couple guys, so no one's getting in trouble. But like, what made your team click off the ice that was able to, bring it on the ice that made you so good?
It starts with management. So let's not forget, Serge Savard won 5, 6, 10 Stanley Cups. I don't know how many, right? From the upper management.
Couldn't even count them anymore.
Dude, I don't know. I think Serge had 5 for sure. But, knowing that they've played the game before, they know what needs to be done. And I was bilingual. Don't forget, I had the English players. There were 7, 8, or 10 English players and French guys that didn't speak English. I would mingle left and right, but sometimes we would make sure that was mandatory to just go out as a team. Let's go shoot some pool. Let's go through, go hang out, play some cards, or Halloween. Let's have a Halloween party. Let's include the wives and so forth and so on. And you're on the road, you just find video games back then. You can find an arcade or I remember go-karts. Yeah, we did go-karts.
We might need to do an arcade. You know what? We might need to define that for like anybody who's watching this. Like an arcade was where you went and actually played the game and had fun, and it cost you a quarter, maybe a dime with inflation. No idea.
Yeah, it's a quarter at the pinball, right? Whatever. But anyway, at the end of the day, like you said, what it does a camaraderie, it always starts you with captain, your assistant captain, and like you said, remember I told you don't have to be your best friend. You have it cliquey. It's normal. I was hanging out with people that really like to hang out with. My roommate was my roommate. I stuck with him, right? You mingle, you get along. But I told you, once you're in that dressing room, man, everything's set aside. Do you think we didn't fight during practice, or do you think you didn't fight in the showers, in the dressing room? We fought, man. I've seen fights.
Really?
Hey, buddy. It's frustrating because you're always together, right? You hang out together. You depend on one of your teammates to help you during your struggle, right? You haven't scored in 4 games or 5 games. Why can't you give me the puck? Then it gets frustrating, right? Then the players will start talking, especially when you go down. You're down 5, 6 games, and you might get sent down, or your ice time get diminished, or you get cut. Like it's very, very lot of pressure, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, I told you, once you touch the ice, you forget what he did to you. You forget what Tyler did to you. Forget you're on the ice. You have to help each other and perform and get your paycheck. You got to earn your paycheck as best as you can. And that's why the camaraderie was unbelievable in '93, and we all liked each other from the goalie to the last forward up front. So it was a lot of fun.
So let's quickly talk about. I want to talk about the run, and I always love talking about the final before before you get to lift the cup. But Pat, you did mention Patrick Waugh, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not a goalie guy. I've never been a goalie guy. I've always just said stop the bleeping puck, and I like you. I don't care what level you play, just find a way to stop the puck. Why was Patrick Waugh so good? What made him so much better than everybody else?
His competitiveness, it was unreal. His focus, I had to be careful. He had so many superstitious stuff that we had to be careful. Don't touch his glove he'd set on the ground. Right? Don't touch this. Don't do that. Or even during the playoff run, we had to sit in the same spot for dinner, order the same drink, and so forth. Like you're talking about 2 months, man.
And this was because of him?
Of Patrick. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And we said, we're not, right? We said, then we start beginning, I started beginning to just believe in this, man. I said, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. Well, let's just do it for him. But I mean, Patrick, I always remember an anecdote that he drove with Denis Savard, and they drove together from Rosemère to the Forum, and that was Game 5. And Patrick looked at Savvy and he says, "You're gonna win the Stanley Cup tonight." And Savvy says, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You're gonna win your first Stanley Cup tonight." He goes, "That guy across the ice can't beat me." So that story was told later, right? I'm not in the car. He's telling me this. I go, "What guy?" So it was Kelly Rudy. He says, "Kelly Rudy at the other end of the rink cannot beat me tonight." So it's like Patrick was always predicting a win and a Stanley Cup at the Forum for Denis Savard and us, obviously, that we heard later on. That was a conversation in the car. So that's how amazing how same thing with the Mark Macier when he called it, predicted it in New York. They were in the Game 7 or what he did with 4 goals, right? 3 goals and Matteau with the game winner. But you know what I'm saying? It's amazing how these high talented players can predict or can call the game and him just say, well, I can't score goals, but I'll stop all the pucks I can.
Yeah.
And called it. He called it. So we're going to win. So it's like amazing.
That's insane. And
Yeah.
you're sitting on now, what was the final like 10 seconds like what were you feeling? I know it's hard to read. I'm sure it's easy to reiterate actually.
Oh, I'm standing on the boards.
You know, I'm sure you got goosebumps and you're shaking and
oh yeah. You should
what was
see
that,
that.
you know, tell me what that was like. Maybe we can get that festered back up inside you.
There's videos again. There's videos showing that I'm standing on the board, man, like on the board with my skate. Carbonell's holding me back. Just wait, right? I'm ready to jump, man, and just go jump and see Patrick. And don't forget the forum, how loud that was, and 15,000 people, like so tight. Back in the old days, the glass, you know, the boards were not that tall, and you can be reached right behind the bench. We didn't have no glass behind the bench or nothing, right? So Mr. Corey was behind there, the whole family, Molson family and all. It was fantastic. I mean, I enjoyed it. I touched the cup. I was waiting for my turn. My brother Marcel and my sister-in-law Carol was at the game, and I just wanted to show him where he was at that section, 104. And I looked at it and said, we did it, you know, by saying we did it. He's like, we did it. The family did it, right? We finally did it to win the cup. And came in the dressing room. Gibert Dionne was there, you know.
Oh, really?
There. It was so much fun. People congratulating us. Yeah, so we're like,
to sing a song in there for you.
I'm going like, Celine's here. This is amazing. Forget the cup, then I got Celine here. So,
oh, that's incredible.
But all around
my uncle who passed away in March. He one of the biggest diehard Montreal Canadian fans you could ever ask for. And I don't remember much about my young life, but I do remember like when I was 7, 8 years old, you know, we would always bet on hockey games, $1, you know, here, $1 there. He'd come to watch my hockey games. He lived around the corner from the rink. And I still remember him winning the cup. Like we were at his house when they won. And, you know, I'm only 7 years old. And I just remember seeing, you know, just so happy. There's nothing I could have said to or done to him for, you know, for the next year that would have, you know, that could have made him mad.
Yeah, and like the pressure, there was pressure in Montreal, man. You can walk to the mall without someone not recognizing you and come to you and said, hey, man, you sucked last night. And I go, I know, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what's wrong. You know, like you talk.
It sounds worse in French too. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. So
it sounds way more aggressive.
You become, and to leave the forum, you have to walk across the street to go get your card in the parking lot, and you mingle with the fans. You mingle with the hecklers. You're in the front page of the paper. You didn't meet to see.
Le Cheval. Go Le Cheval. Have yourself a steak.
That's right. You go to Kid Cheval and so forth. But the thing is, if you win and you're scoring goals, they give you the key to the city, man. Until this day, Tyler, no word of a lie. I don't try to push my Montreal Stanley Cup winner in '93. I go to Montreal and the city's mine, man. It's amazing how people just want to sit down and say hi and talk about hockey, and they're like, come on in, Gilbert. And there's no lineup, no nothing. And that's diehard fans of the Canadians. And they do the same thing in Toronto. Like Toronto is amazing fans they have here in Ontario. And it's just sad. It's just not, there's something missing. But I want all the Leaf fans out there, I know patience running out.
Oh boy.
I think
the podcast you want to talk about that for sure.
I know, but
talk about that.
I love watching them. This Matthew kid is awesome.
Phenomenal.
And even given the number 16 there.
Mr. Marner.
Yeah, Mr. Marner's just struggling. He'll find his way. And I know sometimes it needs some maturity. There's a lot of money. They're paying these players a lot of money. So what? It's still hockey. You still got to go put the puck in the net. It's not he didn't hold anybody at gunpoint. He didn't hold the MLSG or whatever they call themselves, Toronto, to pay him that much money. He's still a kid after all, and just has to do and perform the best he can. If he can't do it in Toronto, he'll be going somewhere else and do it. So,
he's going to be phenomenal, and I'm really looking forward to the Leafs season this year. Now, I know you obviously won with Montreal. Is the Montreal? Do you cheer for a particular team? Are you still Montreal, or?
I'm Montreal, but last year, I had Tampa Bay in 5, and I didn't want to be rude to the Canadians. It's just statistic-wise,
Tampa's so good. They might
was a better team.
They're going to win again. There's a good chance they're definitely making the semis. I don't think I think semis for sure, and then I'd have no idea. No one.
This COVID setup was meant for anyone for grab. That cup was for grab, and Montreal was happened to just sneak and happen the same way. The young kids were coming in and doing their job, and Carey Price just stepped up. I was like, wow, I was shocked how they made it up there. I didn't think it was going to be them. I thought it was Toronto to the finals. And you know what? After that, I jumped on the wagon, man. I said, get on.
Canadians are good.
but they were too strong. Like Tampa showed, they was way too strong, and then you just get back on the billboard and right on the drawing board and just try it again this season. But I wish them the best. It's now they're switching the division again. That might be a little bit tougher.
Yeah, no, I agree.
See what happens. We'll see what happens.
You are the commissioner of the NHL. Okay, you've played. I never played in the NHL. You've been through it all. There are 3 things that you would change to make this game better, that would trickle down and make the game so much better, even from the grassroots level. Do you have 3 things on the top of your head that would help, or even take away just to make the game better?
Right now it's the safety protocol for the players, right? I think the game has gone so fast that I don't want to say this, but I think we'll see one player die on the ice. These hits are, I'm telling you, these hits are coming fast. These kids are turning around. I don't understand how they can be so confident that you can do a spinorama in the corner without being hit. I don't understand what's happening there, what the rules could change. We had a little bit of a clutch and grab to just hold on to a forward that was going to go kill Matthew Schneider in the corner. I would hold him back for 2 seconds to buy time. Now it's like free for all. I don't know what's happening. I'm scared of it because sometimes you can watch 3 hockey games, no hits, no nothing, and that same player might think the 4th game will be a no hits, no hitter, and they're facing the Bruins. Here comes Marcel coming across the ice and just boom, levels you, right? So I don't know what's happening, or there's too many calls. I don't know if it turns soft. I don't want to talk to NHL to say if it's turned soft on it or there's too many cameras to catch things, but I wish him the luck, man. I don't watch it all the time because I find it too boring.
Thank you. Finally, that's what I wanted to get to. There's the truth. I just had to drag it out of you and needed a few questions, and we got there. And now that's what I'm talking about. And that's why, I love the game. I was even watching tonight, and I was watching some tryouts, and I've watched 3 Junior B games already. And I'll tell you something. Like, I wasn't an unreal player. I was an okay Junior B hockey player. That's it. Nothing more. But I'll tell you something. I cannot believe none of these guys are competing for jobs. Like, if you're a 3rd or 4th liner, you got to find a way to separate. And I just think all these kids think they're going to turn out to be like a Matthews or a Marner, and they don't understand how to play a role. But I don't even know if the coaches are teaching them how to play a role, because even when you get to the pros, you're going to have to play a role. And parents don't want to hear that. And neither do coaches nowadays. I don't know what to do.
Well, which one that just went from Dallas to New York? Reeves? Is that Reeves?
Yeah. From Vegas.
Yeah,
Vegas to New York. Yeah, he's gonna kill it there.
He's gonna probably go help protect maybe LaFerriere. But what I'm trying to say is, slowly you might not need those guys anymore. They're trying to shy away these tough guys, and then all of a sudden just trying to put a little more talent player on the 4th line. I don't know what's happening. But for me, we had to police ourselves. And if I had a bad night, or if I'm chasing somebody, and I was being told by the late Bob Probert, you better settle down, you frog, or else I'm going to come after you and beat the crap out of you. I'm like, I looked at him, I go, you know what, Bob? I'm sorry. I will not go hit.
Sorry, sir.
I will not go hit Eiserman. I will not go hit Lidstrom. Please, I'm sorry. And that's how it was run.
Did you have a nemesis out there? Is there someone you're like, you know what, didn't mean to, but you kind of developed as a hockey player? Like, was there one guy like, this guy drove me insane? And
against the Nordiques, especially when we play against the Nordiques, we all hate each other. It didn't matter who we play against, Lapointe and all these guys. But at the end of the day, there's few highlights, a few fights on mine, like Glenn Featherstone just literally giving it to me. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on here? But once again, I had to defend myself because I did something. So I had to figure out, if you're going to act tough or play tough, you better be ready to answer the bell. But these players of today, now you have an awesome hit. I'm watching a great legal hit. Boom, there's a fight coming on. I go, why is there a fight? Take his number, man. Yeah, I'm going, it's so frustrating. There's always penalties. I swear to God, I think Bettman always wants these teams to win in overtime, in the shootout, or to win in the power play. Like, I've seen so many power play goals. Like, it sucks, man. 5-on-5 is where the game's at. And sometimes it gets frustrating. There's so many calls. I have respect for all the Zebras. I have so many friends up in London. I do golf tournaments with their linesmen and the referees. I can't imagine how much pressure these guys have. Scotty Driscoll and all the boys that I know around here. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And we have the young Zach Berg right now, Bergie from Tavistock. These guys work hard. Like, I have to give them some respect. Yes, sometimes the call could go wrong in some way, but they're humans after all, man. These guys, the game's so quick. and with 2 refs and 2 linesmen, they can't have their head on the swivel all the time and miss some calls. But like I said, the game's so fast, and that's why they have video replay to help them out. But I mean, it is what it is, right? It's the new game.
For sure. Well, I got to hear at least one funny story with the cup when you had the cup. Did you guys get into anything that comes off the top of your head that you remember right off the top?
Oh, it sunk in the bottom of the pool, Patrick Quest pool. But what happened?
Yeah, I remember hearing that story.
we party with it so hard that the bottom part, so it's in the piece of wood, came off, way off. We're like, what's going on here? And inside the cup, there was engraved. Some of the players engraved their names in it with nails, with the nail and stuff. And,
oh no!
And initial their names in it. So we knew it was the real cup because you take the lid off. Said, "Yep, that's the one."
Wow! I wonder if what's funny. I wonder. I know they've been replacing the rings for a while, but I wonder if they maybe sometime they just left it. They're like, "Yeah, we're just going to leave this right now."
Yeah, if you're going to tell me,
that's a good question.
If they're telling me there's 3-4 cups out there, maybe there is. It's not me to decide if it's the one that you see on the ice is the original. 100%. The boys celebrate with it, but the one at the Hall of Fame is the one that you take a picture with. That's the original cup that the Hall would not charge you $15 to take a picture with a fake cup. So
yeah, no, exactly.
I didn't really have. I see right now these people are eating puts inside and they're eating cereal. I find that gross, but because that cup's been touched.
Oh God, I'm sure they also have the best cleaning service that's ever been assembled. So yes. I don't think they're too worried about the germs.
I drank champagne out of it and beer, and that's the respect I had for the Stanley Cup. I didn't want to do anything silly with it. Too much respect for the trophy, and we did the same thing. That people were superstitious to touch the division cup. We touched it. We asked Carbonneau, can we celebrate with our division? What was it, Clarence Campbell and the? I think that was the Clarence Campbell I won.
Wow, that's old school.
Yeah, so Patrick said, and Guy Carmen said, touch it because you'll never might touch it again. So it was so much fun. So
that's the way I look at it too. It's not the cup, but you know what? You're proud to get there.
No, we touched it. We won the cup.
I'm not superstitious to think like just touching the trophy you lose, man. So there's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser, and I don't think it has anything to do with touching the trophy. But I get it though. I 100% get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
It is. But all around, like I said, it's a dream come true. You look at right now at I think I just saw his face today that Joe Thornton that's trying again. I think he's gone to Florida, and don't want to call him the old man of the NHL, but man, if he can still pop a few goals and not hurting his team, I wish him the best to get the cup. Marleau, same thing. These guys are sticking around, and the league is helping them to maybe achieve and they happened to Ray Bourque that left the Boston Bruins to go win in Colorado, right? Giving them an opportunity at the end of the career, because my brother Marcel never won it, and there's something that I wish he would have experienced, but he did through me. But I wish all these older guys this year the best, and hopefully one of these guys can win the cup.
It's absolutely insane. I know what Thornton lives pretty close to me. He's probably about a 3-minute drive from my house, and I have not yet had the pleasure to meet the gentleman, but everyone's telling me he's a great guy and always has Matthews and Marner over to the house. He's got a big lot out there. He's out cutting his grass.
Yes,
he's not everyone's call him a farm boy, but he's a homebody according to all the locals, and they just absolutely love him. And we were down at the Joe Thornton Arena tonight watching a few of the young kids.
It's stuff that we like the previous. From the 60s to 70s, we carry on. It's still there, like you said. You see, Marner, Marleau was looking after the 2 young boys here, Matthews and Marner, to say, hey, there's curfew tonight. Come over at the supper. Come and eat. You can't be in this big city by yourself, living in a high-rise condo by yourself with too much money. You might end up with the wrong kind of crowd and stuff like that. So I'm glad that the veterans are stepping in that way to just help the young guys, reach their goal and perform big time on the ice. But like I said, like Toronto is freaking amazing. It's an awesome city. The fans are diehard fan. Like I said, players want to come here and play. It's just a lot of pressure. Sometimes the media just says stuff. It's out of whack, but it is what it is. You have to have thick skin to play in the original 6 teams, and especially Montreal and Toronto. That's the skin you have to have. It's the best place on earth to play.
Amazing. So, Gilbert, we're almost done here, but of course, we always do a little thing called rapid fire. So, we're going to throw a couple questions at you, and the first thing that comes to mind, you got to say, don't think about it. Just let's see what comes to mind. So,
sounds good.
Let's do this. All right. So, Toronto Maple Leafs win a cup within the next 3 years. Yes or no?
No.
I kind of want to elaborate on it, but I know I got a couple more I got to ask. I know I got a couple I got to ask. There's a lot of people pissed right now, and I love it. I want to talk about that. Poutine, overrated or very good?
It's very good, and in Quebec only. Quebec poutine.
Curds or nothing, right? Cheese curds,
That's right.
not
Cheese
shredded.
curds. Correct.
Easy stuff. Best chirp, best player that had the best chirp you've ever heard.
Jeremy Roenick. He was one of the best when he challenged Patrick Roy, and Patrick Roy couldn't hear him because he had a 2 Stanley Cup in his ear. So Jeremy Roenick says he took his he got Patrick Roy's jockstrap up in the stand somewhere, and then Patrick replied back, goes, "I don't know what Jeremy's saying because I got my 2 Stanley Cup ring in my ear."
Oh, that is
and JR says he's got nothing back. JR says, "Hey, he got me."
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. That's amazing. That's a good one. That's a good one. IHL, best city to live in.
Cincinnati, Ohio, once for sure, because that's why I was there for 5 years. They retired my jersey. But don't forget, we had Houston, Vegas at that time, Chicago. We had some big cities that we were able to really enjoy. Orlando had a good time on the road.
You tore that league up.
It was fun. It was a fun league.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing Senior A hockey, underrated or overrated? The level was underrated, overrated, because it was nice. I played in Cambridge, and I was fortunate to play with the late Peter Zezel and Steve Rice, our friend of mine. Mike Torquia played, and we made a David Lilac in town, and we made a nice team, and we trying to push it so hard, but just didn't happen at the end. Then the team folded, and I called it quits because I think players would start coming after me a little bit for no reason and put bounty on people's head, and the player's head. It was not right. And I was like, I'm done. I'm done with senior. A coach's favorite saying that they said on a regular basis that sticks out in your mind.
Tonight we're gonna separate the men from the boys. Let's go, boys.
Who's that?
Jacques Demers.
No.
So he said, tonight we're gonna separate the men from the boys. Are you ready, boys? Let's go, boys. So then he leaves. He comes back, goes, "Hey, boys," and then we're the men. We are the men. They're the boys. I'm like, oh my goodness. I said, okay, sounds good.
Favorite off-season sport when you weren't playing hockey?
Definitely golf. I'm not as good as the Toronto Maple Leafs alumni because these guys are always done in April, so they had extra month of golf to play. I always play till June.
For a guy watching a lot of the Leafs, you're sure taking lots of shots at them, but I'm here for that. I am here for that.
Yes.
Look, Gilbert, and last one is Eichel playing for Buffalo by the end of the season.
I think he needs to go. I think it's pouting. I feel he's so talented. And like I said, I think he could fit elsewhere to maybe a better team that he needs help with, whatever he's asking for. I wish him luck. I don't know the kid. I just know he's super talented. I think he's in a big rut and he can't get out. And maybe sometimes it's the right way to just the Sabres guy say, oh, who's willing to take him for a bunch of first-round picks? I don't know what's out there. Well, out the market. But, I mean, if it's not by Christmas, if he's struggling, unfortunately, he's going to have to go. And like I said, my brother Marcel played with some very crappy hockey players and turned out to have some Charlie Simmer and Dave Taylor. The Triple Crown made it for 14 years. Eichel should be worried about himself, produce for who he is, and let the team built around him. It just doesn't seem to work out in Buffalo, but I wish him luck. The Sabres is awesome. Great organization. I love Buffalo. I go watch my hockey in Buffalo because it's so much fun. Great people there. Great building. I wish them the luck. It's a beautiful and nice logo. I love the Sabres logo and their jerseys. So the original one. But, I mean, they've lost a few Hall of Fames right now lately. And at the end of the day, I love the Sabres. And good luck to Eichel.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, I can't thank you enough. I've loved every second of this, and I hope to have you back. And you know what? We didn't make it about Marcel. How do you like that one?
That is awesome. You didn't call me Marcel once. That's unreal. That is good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If I want to talk to him, I would have got him on for sure.
That's right. Hey, Tyler, you know what? Thank you for reaching out. Like I said, great community. That was awesome. You got a great show here, and hopefully many more other athletes will say yes to support your podcast here and so forth. But I appreciate it. Like I say, stay local, shop local, everyone, and lots of fun out there. And look for that Durham artificial grass truck. It's me. There's only one in Kitchener-Waterloo, and it's me.
Love it. Good. I don't have to promo it again. It's already done because I'm going to call it the Dufferin artificial glass again.
Yeah, you're good. You're
absolutely.
Good,
thanks everyone for watching
cheers.
Off the Puck Hockey Podcast and TV show. Catch us every Saturday night, 9 p.m. on Rogers TV Channel 20, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow all of our socials. Thanks again to Gibert Dionne for coming on. I absolutely love this. I'm your host, Tyler Fiennes. And again, we got Maddie Huddle behind the scenes, making magic happen. Marty Zylstra making our theme music. This is Off the Puck Hockey. Let's go.